Our belongings can lie to us when we are trying to organize our homes, which is what I'm trying to do in this room. And our stuff can lie to us. Right now, this table of stuff is lying to me. It is telling me that I might want this math kit someday. The kids might want to play with it. A second lie it's telling me is that I will regret decluttering some of this. I will regret decluttering money flashcards because that's what we're learning right now when we play our money games, even though we've never actually opened these flashcards. A third lie that's being told by my stuff to me right now is that I don't have time to deal with this. And it doesn't feel like I have time to deal with this. It doesn't feel like that's a lie, but it is a lie because I can peck at this pile 5 minutes at a time. I can also just say, I'm deciding what to keep and getting rid of the rest. I'm not going to make any more decluttering decisions. I'm going to make a decision to keep and then get rid of everything else. And the reason this stuff is even here in the first place is because I wanted to reorganize the shelves that all of this used to live on. I wanted to repurpose those shelves as game board shelves, and I've done that. Board games are a big part of our everyday, so I wanted to elevate that category in my home to make it a little bit easier to find the game we're looking for, to see what games we have, and to get them out and put them away. And I've accomplished that mission. I just pulled everything off the shelves and put it on this table instead of dealing with it one shelf at a time. The globe is one of those things that I know I want to keep. We often reference this. I know right out of the gate I'm keeping this, so I'm going to put it somewhere. Where am I going to put it? Back on the table, because I don't know. When I overthink it, I tend to get bogged down and I stall. So I'm not going to overthink it, but what I am going to do is I'm going to put this globe back where we used to keep it on the top shelf of the games, what is now our gaming shelves. And the reason I'm going to put it there is because it's tall. So storage wise, it's difficult to store anywhere else except for the top shelf of something. Now, when I look at the rest of the stuff that's on here, I have to be really considerate and honest about what I want to keep here in this room. So we have a homeschool co-op that we go to. There's 107 kids that my kids belong in, and on a weekly basis. And at the first instance of each month, first class of each month, we have a picnic table that is dedicated to swapping. And you can put all the stuff you don't want anymore on this table, and other parents can come and shop for free at this table. This is my bin for donation, so I can carry it. Now, in a previous video when I talked about just in case items that I was keeping in here, I'd already made some decisions to get rid of some stuff, and that has been sitting on this table. So this letter stamp kit, some math manipulatives, this book of 50 states, this Fandex of 50 states, another Fandex of King Tut, 10 count piece for math manipulatives, states flashcards, illustrated Kids Holy Bible, illustrated Holy Bible for toddlers, the stamp activity pad that goes with those letter stamps, this blow up globe. I also decided I was going to get rid of that. And then these dry erase math charts. I'm also going to get rid of those. So those are all the things that I've already decided that I'm getting rid of. Other things I decided I'm getting rid of. Everything in here is learning Spanish, but we just do it with apps on devices. So same with this. This is a leapfrog book, and then some coloring books that were never colored in. All right, so my bin is already full. Okay, that's kind of heavy. Those are decisions that I had made in a prior video. I'll leave a link to that video below. I was just storing them here, and then I just took everything else off the rest of the shelves. From this point forward, I'm thinking about everything on this table as something I am getting rid of. And as I touch each thing, I will decide if it's actually something I want to take back as a keep. My daughter's math kit for 3rd grade is a keep, and I'm gonna put it on the shelves next to her desk. Base 10 block, same thing. I got some random books here. This is for trash. Okay, these are portfolios, which you will find to be empty. So in Maryland, under my previous umbrella, I had to bring a portfolio at the end of every school year and demonstrate progression of learning in 8 different subjects for the state of Maryland. I have switched umbrellas. They don't require that. I have been documenting via photograph and notes about their progression in learning. It's a lot less stressful for me, and I'm able to really focus on what the kids want to learn, and I have not used the portfolios. So I'm going to put this in the homeschool storage upstairs. Why? Why am I going to keep them? If we move and switch states again, and I have to keep a portfolio like I did in Pennsylvania, then I'll wish I had these binders. I could buy them again. Okay. I'm parking the just in case, because that's just not something I feel overwhelmed by making decisions about just in case right now because of the volume of things. I may feel better when I revisit that in a little while. Okay. I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm okay with it. Okay, so this is just extra storage. These are letter tiles for spelling. My kids have kind of outgrown the usefulness of this, so I'm going to donate that. Yay, me! Okay. This is their art portfolios this year. Art's really big. I'm keeping these. I just need to find a place to home them. And up here, I have art, so I'm just going to do that. Children's dictionary. Okay. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I have a Scrabble dictionary. This was my mom's, and it goes with the Scrabble game that was hers that she gave to me. I am just going to put this with the Scrabble game that is in the closet. It is sentimental at this point. There's no other value in keeping this book other than sentimental, and it's not a sentimental item that I have the emotional fortitude to deal with. So I'm going to put this with the Scrabble game and call it a day. Now, I do have a children's dictionary that actually does not have like every word, but the font is bigger and the book is a little bit easier to thumb through. And then I have a smaller dictionary that is like impossible to read, but has, okay, I'm getting rid of this. I'm donating this. Because as soon as I said it was impossible to read. We'll keep this one, part of the language arts we use. When we find a new word, I challenge them to look it up. They make little vocabulary index cards, and then they play word hop throughout the house with the vocabulary words. And so I'm gonna keep that because we use it. This is a Nerf gun, that's my son's, it belongs in his room. Lego kit. This belongs in ours. Okay, this is periodic table. That's one of our favorite things to learn about. This stuff has been in here for years, but it has been played with over the years. It hasn't been touched in probably about, I don't know, 2 weeks because it's out, so which means we were playing with it. This is still a viable learning category for my kids, so I'm going to store it upstairs. And typically when it comes to things like this, when one of the kids has inquired about something or watched a periodic table video or read it in a book, then we dig out the bin and we just play around with it for a week. So I'm gonna keep this and I'm gonna store it upstairs. You know what, I'm gonna keep these because my daughter learns very well with something kinesthetic, and she really is kind of obsessively memorizing the United States right now, and if I make this available by just leaving it out and strewing or inviting her to play it with me, then she and I will play together. And they're from Mapology, and they're little foam states. And then it has a flag for the capital city that you pin in where the capital city would be. And then there's also one for the world with flags and capitals that my 4th grader enjoys playing with. So we just haven't played with it recently. And that's when something like the 90-90 rule might play in with decluttering and minimalism, where if you haven't touched it in 90 days, are you really going to touch it in the next 90 days? If not, you can let it go. I do feel like I will play with this in the next 3 months. The kids will play with this, especially if I make it intentional and I open it up and invite them to play with me. They'll do it because they do enjoy this. So I am going to keep this, and I'm going to put it with puzzles because we have rehomed puzzles to our dining room. So I'm going to do that. Okay, what else are we dealing with? I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of emotionally tired. This was a lot of things to really deal with. If I take a break, it'll continue to sit here for another week. Okay. It's not that much that I have to like figure out that I'm staring at right now. Deep breath. Your stuff is lying to you. You might need it someday. You don't have time to deal with it. You will regret decluttering it. Those 3 things are lies. I've often, that second one, you will regret decluttering it. Definitely with this thing. These are, because I spent like $150 on it. These are wooden coins, 1 through 100, and then there's also operations like plus multiplication, division, and then there's counters, and there's a multiplication table that you can build on this gorgeous wooden board. This is a beautiful piece. I think I got it from Treasures from Jennifer on Etsy several years ago. But it's a beautiful piece. Kids enjoy building it, but all of my kids can count to 100. And they don't use this for learning fractions, and they don't use it for multiplication. I can't believe I'm going to do this because I've thought about it over the years, how many times I've wanted to get rid of this, but I am going to do it. Is this worth getting money for? Is this worth selling? I would have to verify that I have every single coin 1 through 100. I don't feel like doing that. I could task a kid with that job though. I might get like, I don't know, 40 bucks. Would someone pay 40 bucks for this? I paid 150. I would not spend that money now. I would not spend $150 on this. I bought this before I started decluttering 4.5 years ago. So we've had this a long time. And it's funny that that price tag has stuck with me, that I spent $150 on this because I also bought the fractions and the multiplication times table one, and then the 1 through 100 and the operators. I bought like the whole kit, and it was like 150 bucks. And it's funny how that has stuck with me now, coming up into 5 years. I would not buy this now for $150. If my kids were little and they needed that kinesthetic tactile counting, then this might be worth 40 bucks to someone. Is it worth meeting up with someone, a stranger? Is that worth 40 bucks? No. 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 It's definitely not worth any price is not worth someone coming to my porch for the pickup. I don't like anybody doing that. I'm going to donate it. These are easy. This right here is an easy stack for me because it's keep. They are sentimental family Bibles. And then this is a storage box of my father's postcards. And then this is my husband's Bible. So these are keep. They just have to find a different place in the home. Okay. All right. Math, counting money, flashcards. At the beginning, I said we've never even opened this. And we play games and use actual coins and dollars to learn money. So I'm just going to, I'm going to give this away in the homeschool bin. Magnet by number. I'm going to give this away as well because I'm tired of finding magnets and cleaning them up around my house. Okay, what else we got? We got a bookend, 3-hole punch. This is a book that belongs over there on my shelf. All right, we got the Hardy Boys series. That's a keep. Just have to take that upstairs to the kids' bookshelves. They have bookshelves in their bedroom. A little dusty. All right, Mercy Watson, 6-book series. This was the first series that my first grader read, first chapter book series, and he would like to reread it, so it's a keep. These are all read-alouds, so they'll go on my teacher cart. All right, let me try putting a price, okay? Let's say these binders are $5. Is it worth $15 to me to keep them? I can replace these for $15. So is it worth it for me to store these upstairs? I have the space, and this is where I start justifying. I have the space for it, so I could do it. I just in my head envisioned myself getting rid of these and putting them on the homeschool table, and I felt myself smile. And that to me feels like the right decision. So I'm gonna do that. I've used these for 3 years for each kid, and then just like to, okay, I've dropped it on the floor 3 times. That is always my sign from the universe telling me to get rid of them. The microscope and the math cards are gonna get stored upstairs in my homeschool closet. Look at this, the donate pile. All of this must be a couple dozen things, maybe 30 things in here that I decided to release from our home and from my life, and release the burden of finding storage for them, cleaning them, taking care of them, managing them, all gone. This is a really big one for me to let go. There's that. That's just a couple final things that have to go where they go in the house, and I can do that. Okay. That feels really good. I tackled the lies that stuff was telling me for the last week. Every time I walked into this room and walked by that table, those lies were calling out to me. You don't have time to declutter. You're gonna regret getting rid of any of this. Those lies were not true when I really started touching everything and being honest about what I needed to declutter and get rid of. So I hope you found this helpful, and learning to listen to the lies that are taking place with your belongings in your house. Watch this video next for 10 habits that you can use right now this year to declutter your entire house. And they scale from easy to difficult in that video. So I hope you enjoy. I'm really glad you were with me today, and I'll see you in the next video. Hope you're doing well.